with your game, pop your shit, say something pretty, let's stay thick, beef with who she got the right one. All these bad bitches ain't got the like none, and they all think I got the type one. Pick one, take it, I got the right one. These bad bitches you like is my son.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's long overdue for me to make a tutorial. Now, I know this is probably not the tutorial you guys wanted, or it might be the tutorial you guys wanted instead of the other one, but I'm like, I haven't went live, so let me do a tutorial for you guys. So this is the Loops and Threads Knit Quick Round Loom. It came in a set. I have two different sets. I have the miniature version, and I have the I have the mini version, and I have the full-size version of each color. So green, purple, and I think like red or orange or something like that. I think my daughter has one of them, but either way, this is not a review video. I will do a review, but this is not a review video. This is a tutorial, so we're just gonna learn how to cast on, and we're gonna learn how to actually, you know, start the knit and then cast off in this video. So this is what it looks like. The pegs are already in. Sometimes when you get this, you have to put the pegs in, and this is how you would put the pegs in, with the indent side facing out, because on the other side it's not, it doesn't have the indent, so you can easily pick up. Sorry for the noise, guys. I am sitting in front of a window. You're going to need your pick tool. Typically, if you buy one of these, this comes with it. Excuse the extra noise. I'm trying to not have to do a voiceover, but I'm probably gonna have to do a voiceover. So yes, so you're going to need, this is what came with the pack: your yarn needle and your pick that you use to lift up the yarn. Now, we can get into all the specifics as we grow with using the knitting machine. If you haven't watched my Central video, go watch that. I do have a Central video, the knitting loom that you twist and wind up to knit, but this one is all using your hands. Obviously the Central is too, but without further ado, we're just going to get started. Let me pull out some of my yarn. We're going to be using the color blue, so if you have blue yarn, just go get your blue if you want to work with blue. I am starting with blue. So you can put your tools to the side for now. The first thing you're going to do is you're just going to, I don't know why my phone camera focuses and unfocuses on the thing. Either way, you're going to just take it and wrap it around twice, 3 times. It's all up to you. I know you guys can see that. And then you're just going to wrap it, you're going to wrap it, what would that be, clockwise. Wrap it clockwise around. You only want one loop in the front, and then you're just gonna take it, wrap it around again, and this is gonna stay because you have tension. Now you don't want this too tight, so because you want to be able to, when you get to the second row, the second time you have to wrap, to lift over. So you're just gonna have a little slight tension, not too much. And as you can see, obviously this is staying. And I only wrapped it 2 times, so you're just gonna continue wrapping around clockwise. Depending on how you wanna hold it, just continue wrapping around. That's what I do. I just continue going around. And I am gonna take it slow for this video because there's no point of speeding it up. Just continue wrapping around, wrapping around, wrapping around, and you could take your time, get the hang of wrapping it around. It's not hard, but I understand that sometimes you just have to get in your groove, your motion. Just like when you're crocheting, next thing you know, your whole project is finished because you just got in your groove. You found a rhythm. That's what it's called. Get your rhythm of wrapping around and just keep going. As you can see, we are getting around back to the first one, and then I'm going to show you what to do to complete your round 1. So here we are. We're going to wrap this around, and now all you're going to do is push these down so they don't be in your way when you do your other wraparounds. For each row, you're going to have 2 loops on your peg, and that is going to count as 1 round once you lift up the first loop over the second loop. So we did this, so now we're just going to wrap it around again and then wrap this around again. Actually, we wrap this one around, so now we're just going to go around here, or you can start on this one, it really doesn't matter. And then make sure you just push these down so they're not in your way. And you're just gonna do the same thing. So you can have 2 loops on each peg. That's all you have to do. Make sure that there's 2 loops on each peg. And that's how you cast on your yarn onto the knitting loom. You just wrap it around here, and then you just keep wrap it around the peg, wrap it around the peg, wrap it around the peg. It should look like this in the inside, so you know you're doing it right. Can you guys see that? It should look like that in the inside, twisted up in the back. In the front, it should just be 1 loop. So now we're doing our second row of loops. And we're just gonna keep going around until we get back to the beginning. This is still row 1. If you want to, you can get a row counter. I got a row counter. So let me turn mine on. And now we have, this is row 1. So now that we're done, we made it back. We got it back to the one that we needed to put another loop on. We're back at the beginning peg. All you're going to do is you're going to put your pick. You can start here, it really doesn't matter. Just hold this string until you have this looped over. Now you can start putting this down right here, or you can just wait till you're all done with all the pegs and then put them all down, but sometimes I do it as I go. Once again, you're just taking the bottom loop and putting it over. It might be a little tight. Some of them are loose, some of them are easy. just depending on your tension. And now you're completing row 1. After you do a couple, you can leave the string because it's not going to come off. And then, like I said, I'm not going to stop the video. We're just going to go completely through and complete row 1. You honestly don't need a row counter if you don't want to. I don't know if you want to keep it in your mind or write it down, or you just go based on length, so you really don't care how many rows. You just measure it once you're done. It's all up to you. I just like to make my life easier. And now that we got back to the end, did this come off? You can always check and see. You know it's supposed to look like. I don't know why it's not focusing. It's really annoying. But yeah, I'm not sure if I flip this over this one, so I'm just gonna do it just to make sure I locked it in. And then you're going to just push all of these down, and now you're done with row 1. It's very easy. It's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. And then the longer it gets, obviously you will go through the bottom. And this is how it should be looking. You push all of them down. This is what it looks like from the bottom. And we're back at this one. So the more rows you do, then you just unloop this so that way it could be down under the pegs or whatever, but I just keep it there for now. And then I just go back to my stitch marker. I press for row 2 because now we're working on row 2, and I just keep going. So this part I probably will speed up because it's just self-explanatory. We're just wrapping around the pegs. Wrapping around the peg. That's all we're doing. Like we did for row 1, like we did to cast on. And that's how we're cast on. All you do is wrap around the pegs. And the more you do it, the faster you get at it. Next thing you know, you have a lot of rows. You have your hat, you have your scarf, you have your headband, whatever you're making. Oh, I think I put 2 on this one already. Okay, so you have your row 2 almost complete, and like we said, we just take the bottom row, flip it over the top row, and it's going to stay. And you can pull it down if you want. It's all up to you. Or you can just wait till you're done with everything and then pull them all down. So this is a very, very easy task to do. If you can't get a hold of how to do knitting with the knitting needles, then this is very easy. You can make the same things: a blanket, a scarf, socks. They have knitting looms specifically for socks. But if you want to do it on this one, you can as well. There's 1001 tutorials out there for you guys to learn how to actually make a project. So we have completed row 2, and I'm just going to be pushing all of the loops down the peg. This also pushes the project down. As you guys can see, this is what it's looking like inside. And that's how you do that. So 2 rows, right? And say you're done with your hat, your project, blah, 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 blah. In another video, I can actually show you how to make the whole hat and then make your brim and all that stuff. But for this video, it's just to start off. So we did our casting on. We wrapped it around the first time. We wrapped it around here. Then we wrapped it around each peg going, wrap it around this way, this way, this way, around the peg. So after you wrap it around the peg, we did our row 2, as I showed you. We lift it up over, and that completes our round, whatever round you're on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you get all of the loops over the first one, you have completed your round. So say we have a long, luscious hat. Let me give you an example of something I was working on just to see. Say you got your length. Okay, say you got your length of the hat and you like it. Everything is nice. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Let's put that over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to, obviously you would take this off. This would be down here somewhere. You can just pull that through, right? Now, all you would do is just wrap this around twice so you can just have enough to work with. You just wrap this around 2 or 3 times, depending on how big your thing is. And then you can just cut the string. This is where your yarn needle comes in. You're going to feed it through the yarn needle. Now, if you use a central machine, if you use an Addy machine, then I think you will already know how to do this, but it's very simple. All you're doing is going under the thing, over the thing, whatever, however you want to go in to. I just go down and pull up, down and pull up. And this is how you would take your project, start the process of taking your project off of the knitting loom. You just go through all of the pegs, however many pegs you have, depending on how long it's going to take you. But it's very self-explanatory. If you're on my live, then you see me do this on live all the time. Unless I already started the unless I cut the live off. You don't get to see me take it off, but that's why I always tell you guys, stay and watch the whole live. You might see something, you might have a question, I might not get to your comment, but if you just, I always have what I'm doing close enough so you guys can see exactly what and how I'm doing it. So We're just going to pull all of this through. We're almost at the other side. I like these grooves because you can just guide your yarn needle down and under. We're almost back at the beginning. It's okay if your yarn comes out because you can just slide it back. Oh, you can just slide your yarn right back in. It really doesn't matter. This is a very, very easy project. Very, very easy. Obviously, it could be time consuming depending on what you're making. But even if you want to get the mini ones and make little small dolls or pom-poms for hats, little pumpkins. This is a very, very easy tutorial. And back through here. And if you feel like you want to, you can go back through this one. It's all up to you. It doesn't really matter either way. This is just hanging because I didn't pull it all the way through. But I can fix that later, so don't worry about that. Now, all you would do is just lift everything off. Just take everything off. It's not gonna come apart. It's not gonna mess up your project. You're just lifting everything off. Very easy. If nothing else is easy, this should be the easiest part of the whole project. And you honestly could just take your hand and push it over, but why not use the pick? You have the pick. Up and over, up and over. And everything should be off. And then we put that to the side. Now, obviously, this is your bottom string. This is your top string. And then if you were done with your project, you would just pull it close. Pull your project close. Now, everything will be closed. Hopefully my camera was focused throughout this whole thing. I don't understand. But yes, that's the end of the tutorial. Everything is off the knitting loom. Everything is done. Obviously, if this was longer, this is what it looks like. When you turn it off, you have everything inside. I had weaved in everything in to take it off of the knitting loom. And then if you were making your hat, you would just close this up, tuck everything in, close it up, and boom, the project would be done. thank you guys for watching this tutorial. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the channel, and stay tuned for a giveaway. I will do a giveaway video very soon. Stay tuned for a giveaway. Stay tuned for the next tutorial, and thank you guys for watching.